Hey guys, Football Hard here. So for today's video, I'll be removing this coil spring off of this strut. And so this is, your car coil spring here. These are your shocks. And I'm not a car guy at all, just a knife maker. So this is going to be kind of a knife maker's perspective on removing a coil spring from this thing here. This is filled with fluid, so you don't want to just put this in the forge at risk of creating too much pressure and having yourself a pipe bomb. What you want to do is compress these springs, and then it'll release the tension, and then you're able to loosen the end nut there. So what you need are some compressors, and I got a pair of compressors off of Amazon for 20 bucks, so pretty cheap. And so we're going to get those on there, compress that spring, and then all I'll need after that is some sockets and a ratchet to get that off of there. So this is going to be my first time with one of these, so I thought I'd bring you along and show you how I go about doing it. So for other knife makers out there who might not know how to get one of these springs off, if this is what they've got, hopefully this will help you out. So we'll get to it. So this one spins and this one is loose, and we want to do it like that. There we go. So now we'll start tightening this up. So this is on this particular one, this is a 7/8 socket. So we'll get that on there. Okay, so that's on there. Not as tight as it needs to be. We're going to get that other one on there. So I got the compressors tightened down about as much as they're going to go. It looks like they're kind of starting to bend a little bit, so that's always a good sign. But got my 18mm socket on the ratchet now, so we'll see if we can get this to budge without killing ourselves. Well, I was just about to turn the camera back on, and everything sort of came loose. So I put the bottom of the strut in the vise here, and I ended up standing on it. And here's the nut that was in there. So I had the ratchet on there, and to get enough leverage on it, that was in here like that. And to get enough leverage on it, I took this pipe, put that pipe on there, stood on it, and I cranked it like this. Boom. And what looks like happened is the screw broke off inside of that nut, because this is where the socket was on here. So it looks like that broke, because that all kind of popped. Nothing too dangerous, that popped off. So I think the coil spring compressors worked. So we got this thing. Take that off. So this is the screw broke off there. So didn't quite work as as I was planning, but that was pretty rusty on there. So okay, so now we got to get these things off. This is quite possibly the worst video you could have watched on getting a coil spring off. Because not only did I miss the action, but this is probably not even close to the wrong way of doing it. So maybe this will give you an idea of what I was doing with the rest of the strut there. But again, this is probably the worst way to go about doing this, but kind of alternate between these two, trying to take the pressure off fairly evenly. So, fun fact, this pipe I'm using was actually the original pipe for my first forge build. Okay, that's one of them off. That one's on there pretty good still. There's number 2. Alright, there you have it. One more coil spring. This is a pretty big one. That's got to be close to inch in thickness, so I'll be able to get some good knives out of this. So I don't know if it was worth the trouble. Probably should have just taken it to a mechanic, but that's the way I do things. So, well, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, maybe learned something, hopefully learned what not to do. But shout out to Uncle Steve. But thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, be more Viking.